Here. If we get any more details, in particular on healthcare, folks, we will bring those headlines to you. We're going to keep an eye on this one, but we got to get back now to what's happening with these markets. Not a good day for the markets. You've got J.P. Morgan earnings numbers coming out, and then Robert Gray talking about bonuses. Our next guest joining me says she's appalled that the bankers are receiving these large bonuses when 1 in 10 Americans are out of work. And she says the bank tax is the least the banks can do to pay for the mistakes they made in the past. So let's bring in right now Erica Payne, Senior Advisor at the Roosevelt Institute. Robert Gray is going to stay on. I know I had to interrupt you in the bonuses issues. I'm sorry about that. But Erica, let me ask you this. They paid back TARP with interest. The American taxpayer has made interest. Why do they have to come back now, in your opinion, and pay more fees?
Well, you've got to look at, did they pay back TARP? They have paid back a lot of TARP. But was TARP the only cost that we incurred at their actions? And the best analogy I can use for people who are not well versed in the financial system is to equate the economy to a car. Basically, the regulators cut the wires between the brakes and the pedal, and then the people at these big banks got in, ran a stop sign, ran over a whole bunch of American workers. And what we're doing now is saying to them, we're going to put a little fine on top of you that is about the equivalent of the fine you're going to have for running through that stop sign when you took out, 1 out of 10 American workers in the process of your bad decision making. And I think that one thing that we've got to understand is that these bankers could not be more clueless. When I see Jamie Dimon up on the stands during the Financial Crisis Inquiry Commission hearings the other day, and he says that his daughter asked him, Daddy, what is a financial crisis? And he says, oh, it's something that happens every 6 or 7 years. I don't know. I have a family reunion every 6 or 7 years.
Erica, I'm sorry. I don't think Jamie Dimon and the word clueless really go in the same sentence. I'm sorry.
Okay,
but honestly, I mean, come on. I mean, these guys are running major financial institutions. And
and they're running major financial institutions into the ground, and they're taking those financial institutions and they're using them.
They're not running into the ground. Record profits.
And they're using them to wreck the world economy. He said,
people need money. Small businesses need money. People need credit cards. People need mortgages. These banks are the ones that do that, Erica.
You're 100%
we have a credit
right.
We have a credit-based society, and that is not going away.
No, you're 100% right, and it should not go away. I mean, American business is the key to American prosperity. And in order for American business to work, American business has to be financed. And in order for American business to be financed so that it can be the engine of our prosperity, we've got to have a financial sector that works effectively to do what it's supposed to do, which is to get money into the hands of businesses, small business owners and big business owners who put people to work.
But Erica,
and the finance sector did not
after
do
analysts
that.
tell me yesterday, Erica, over and over, that if you add these fees to these banks, the tax, whatever you want to call it at this point, that they are going to stop lending, and they're just now opening up the books. That is the fear.
It's one of these almost hard to respond to. There's absolutely no way that a tiny fee of this nature on a very, very small set of institutions, it'll probably end up being, 35, 40 institutions, and it's those who have $50 billion
Erica, this is an emotionally charged issue, but can I ask you a question? Because everyone believes in accountability. Should we be taxing the subprime borrowers who irresponsibly lied on their loans? Should we be taxing the UAW, which went into horrendous contract situations with General Motors, which caused, and General Motors management is equally to blame? Should we be taxing them for contributing to an economic collapse that we have experienced because of the financial sector? If you're going to hold the bankers accountable, don't you have to hold everyone else who made horrible decisions accountable?
Yeah. I tell you what, everybody, Erica, you're going to think about that question. I'm going to take a quick commercial break. Stay right there. Robert, stay there. I'm going to give you 2 minutes to think about it. When we come back, we're going to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly with bank fees and also those bonuses that Robert Gray was just starting to get into. We'll be right back after the break. You're watching Fox Business.